Hi everyone, Nev here, and I'm here to answer your questions about witchcraft and tarot. And today's question is... Alright, let's get started.
So one of the top questions, do witches worship the devil? Do we sell our souls to the devil? And the answer to that question may surprise you a little bit. If I was asked this question in the 90s, when I first started practicing witchcraft, or even the 2000s, maybe my answer would be different. However, right now, my answer is a bit more nuanced. In the 90s and 2000s, to sort of combat the whole satanic panic, there was a big push to distance modern witchcraft practices from things like devil worship, Satanism, etc. And what kind of came out from that was a lot of love and light sort of attitudes when it came to witchcraft, being against more baneful types of magic. However, I think many of us started to feel that our witchcraft was being sanitized by this over moralistic sort of outlook. And many of us took the approach of a witch who can't hex, can't heal. And while there isn't really a universal moral code within witchcraft, we kind of all sort of have our own moral codes or work within the paradigms of whatever traditions we may be following. So there is more of a push in, especially more recent years, of embracing the darker aspects of witchcraft and paganism and doing research on that folkloric devil. So one book that I really recommend in sort of understanding that folkloric devil, which is a bit different than the Christian devil, is The Witch's Devil by Roger J. Horne. This is a great book that goes over the history of how the folkloric devil has sort of shown up in different accounts throughout history. And a lot of this goes through witch trials and confessions and other source documents and primary sources, etc. The folkloric devil, as I mentioned, is a bit different than Satan, but there are still witches that do, in fact, honor or revere that figure. Most of them don't see him as the malicious spirit of the Bible, but have a more nuanced take on this figure. Myself, personally, I don't currently honor a devil-like figure, but it's not outside the possibility in the future. And I do often take a more traditional witchcraft approach to my practice, though my paganism is pretty rooted in Irish paganism. So I could sit here and say, oh, there's no devil in the craft, rainbows and unicorns and fairies and sparkles and all of that. But the answer is a bit more nuanced. I hope this answered your question, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.